We might be pissing in the wind in this store. We're high as an eagle's titty in there. Get you tore up from the floor up. If I can find that bottle, we're gonna get all up in it. He called it horse cock. This might be a bad idea. Solid bottle here. Oh hell, there's a lot of people looking for this one. This ain't exactly what we was looking for, y'all. I should have bought 2 of those. This is a strip club. Higher than giraffe coochie in here. Now this is a rare bottle. Hey y'all, welcome to Sippin' the South. We are on a bourbon hunt here in South Miami, and we are at a place called the House of Liquor. We're gonna go in here and see what we can find. Let's go check it out. Hey, good morning. How are you doing?
Good.
You got some Kentucky bourbon in here?
Yeah.
Just 1 or 2 bottles?
Too many bottles.
You have a lot. Good, that's what I like. You mind if we look around for a bit?
Yep.
See what you got? Is all the bourbon you have out on the shelf, or do you have anything like
Only this one.
even allocated stuff is on the shelf?
Only this one.
Okay, perfect. Got a Russell's 15. Looks like they got a pretty good selection here in the old House of Liquor, y'all. They got some of the Larceny series here. I don't see any of the barrel proofs. Got your Elijah Craig's. Got a few redemptions. Got the old chicken cock here. I didn't know it, but this chicken cock goes all the way back to the late 1800s, that name. Most people think that's like a gimmick or something, but that's actually a historic bourbon label from way back in the late 1800s. I got a few of the Mictors. Got some Blade and Bow here. A couple of Nelson Brothers. Got some of the Russell's single barrel. Some of the Four Roses. Fred Minnick has this Woodenville bourbon as one of his go-to bourbons that he keeps on his household shelf all the time. Down here we got some of the Redwood Empire stuff. I'm really looking for the Redwood Empire cask strength series though. Got some Balcones Texas whiskey. Got some of the Rabbit Hole series. I don't know much about the Rabbit Holes, but I think this Derringer is supposed to be pretty good. Y'all can let me know in the comments if you know good stuff or bad stuff about this Rabbit Hole Derringer. Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond, that's a good solid bottle. Horse Soldiers, Angel's Envy. Got the Woodford Reserve Double Oak, $61.99. That's a good solid bottle always. The Maker's Mark Cask Strength, looks like from 23. The Maker's Mark French Oak. I picked up a bottle of this when we were in France, and I love Maker's Mark, but maybe it was a bad batch, bad bottle, but I just wasn't a huge fan of it. But a lot of people really like the Maker's Mark French Oak. Got the Old Elk. Don't know much about that. Got interesting stuff up here on the top shelf. There's some Blue Run. Don't know anything about the Blue Run. There's some Maker's Mark limited release in 22 and limited release in 21. I think those are supposed to be good. There is a Larceny barrel proof right here. This looks very good. Let's see what batch this is. This is a batch A123, y'all. And Fred Minnick actually picked this Larceny barrel proof A123 as his number 3 bourbon out of the top 100 of 2023. So this is supposed to be a fabulous bottle. What's your price on this Larceny barrel proof here? Yes, how much, what's the price on it?
119.
119. Okay. Yeah, that's a little more than MSRP, but let me think about that one. I think the MSRP back in 23 was somewhere around 60 bucks on that. 1792s. There's a single barrel. And then they have a 12-year 1792 for 119. There's an Elijah Craig barrel proof. Good thing I'm tall and have long arms. This is batch A123. Let's see what the price is on this one. How much you got on this one?
This is 99.
$99.99. Yep. 99 bucks on Elijah Craig barrel proof, batch A123. Might be a consideration. Let me think about that one. And there's one more. Let me look at. Looks like we got a Knob Creek 12 up there. And they have a Knob Creek 15 and a Knob Creek 18 up there. I've heard really good things about the Knob Creek 12. see what we got on this one. This is supposed to be a really good bottle of Knob Creek 12 year. Good old Kentucky bourbon. Y'all know I'm a fan of the straight Knob Creek 9 year, and this here's a 12. How much you got on this price?
It's the same, $9.99.
99. This is the Knob Creek 18 year. This is another bottle that you don't see sitting on the shelf just anywhere. Let's see what the price is. 300. Yeah, 300 on this one. That my memory serves me correct. I believe that's about double MSRP. I think it's about 150 MSRP. Gonna be a little too rich for my blood. See what else? There's a little book up there, and they got a cast strength Angel's Envy up there. I'm about scared to ask. You do have a Russell's 15. There's a lot of people looking for this one. This is supposed to be, a lot of people are calling this the Bourbon of the Year for 2024. What was your price on this one? 600 American dollars, y'all, for some Russell's 15. Hard to find, but for 600 bones, pretty easy for me to slide right back up where she came from. Ah, yeah, good girl. You stay right there. Stay right there. Well, y'all, they had a pretty good selection in there in good old House of Liquor, but they had some prices that were high as an eagle's titty in there. $600 for that Russell's 15. Woo-wee! A little too rich for this old poor country boy. We're gonna move on and see what else we can find here in South Miami. Let's go see if we can find another store. All right, y'all, well, we just pulled up to a place called Miami Concord Liquors. Let's go in here and check it out. Howdy, good morning. How are you?
All right.
Good for a Saturday?
Absolutely.
You got any Kentucky bourbon in here?
Kentucky bourbon.
Yes, ma'am. You got some birds in here too.
Guys, where are you from?
I'm here, there, and everywhere.
Awesome.
Let's see what they got up here. Well, they got a little Templeton. They got old Yellow Wolf's Creek Water here. Some Sagamore Rye and some Wild Turkey 101. There's a little regular Maker's Mark and some Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey. This ain't exactly what we was looking for, y'all. So I think we're gonna ease on out of here and move on to the next one. All right, y'all, we're right there. It's why they call it hunting. Now we're on to the next one. All right, y'all, well, we were driving down the road to the next spot and we saw Winn-Dixie Wine and Spirits and decided to pull in here and check it out. Let's go see what they got. I do, but not for you, honey. Good morning. I got a Woodford Reserve gift set right there for $28.99 and you get the rocks glass with it. That's actually it's a good price. Got your little crystal glass and $28.99, y'all. Got scotch. I know zero about scotch. Looks like they got a little bourbon in here. Got all the Wild Turkey 101s. They got the Long Branch. I believe this is the one Matthew McConaughey used to be involved with, but is no longer a part of. $28.99 for that. Jack Bondeds. They got your Maker Smart regulars here. Got your Cash Drink 2305 batch. And this here looks like a Wine and Spirits liquor. This must be a store pick of their Maker's Mark. And this here says Publix Private Selection. But we're in Winn-Dixie, so maybe Winn-Dixie and Publix are part of it. Same company. I don't know. Got a Larceny small batch for $26.99. Y'all, they got this big honking bottle of Knob Creek 9. Good Lord in heaven. This is a big hog leg bottle of Knob Creek 9 for $69.99. This here, there's enough Knob Creek 9 in there to get you tore up from the floor up, I guarantee you. Got a gift set here. A couple Knob Creek glasses and a bottle of the Knob Creek 9 for $34.99. That's actually a good price because a bottle alone's worth that. That's a really good price. Got the good old Woodford Double Oak, $59.99. Not a bad price. Woodford Reserve Rye. I'm not a rye guy. Got this Jefferson's Boat Whiskey. Don't hear much good stuff about that. I tried it one time, and nice guy. Used to live in the subdivision. I was on the board of the HOA, and he's a real nice guy, friend of mine. He brought me a bottle of it, and I just wasn't a huge fan. Got some High West up here. Don't know anything about that. Got some Brothers Bond. They got the Yellowstone here. Now this is just a select. There is a particular Yellowstone that I am on the hunt for today, y'all. And that's the Yellowstone Tokai finished. If I can find that bottle, we're gonna get all up in it. Got some Traveler. Got a Russell's 10 hanging in here for $43.99. They got this Heaven Hill bottle and bond. Now, that's a really good price on that. It's $39.99. I think we're gonna have one of those. That's a good price on that Heaven Hill bottle and bond. Got some Whistle Pigs. Don't know anything about that. They got some Uncle Nearest here, the 1884 and then the 1856. Now the Uncle Nearest I'm particularly looking for and would like to find is the 777 Lost Chapter Anniversary Edition Uncle Nearest. That's what I'm on the hunt for. I want to pick up a bottle of that. Looks like they got a little regular Angel's Envy for $53.99. Got your standard Michter stuff. Got this old horse soldier here. Every time I see his horse soldier, I always think about I used to work on a farm when I was in high school, and there's an old farm hand I worked with. We'd eat lunch. We'd have them bologna sandwiches, and he said, man, I like this horse cock. He called it horse cock. You know, you never know what that mystery meat is in that bologna. Every time I see this horse soldier, I think of horse cock sandwiches sitting on the farm. Got some Old Forester 1910 here at $54.99. That's a good price. And this 1920 Prohibition style is supposed to be really fine. $59.99 right at MSRP, y'all. They do have a Widow Jane 10 up there for $69.99. That's a good price on that. All right, let's get these two. Thank you so much. Yes, you have a great day. Have a good weekend. All right, y'all, we had a pretty good score in that little store. We walked away with 2 bottles. We got the Old Forester 1920 Prohibition style, and we got the Heaven Hill bottled in bond. Got that Old Forester 1920 at MSRP, and we got a hell of a deal on that Heaven Hill bottle and bond, y'all, at $39.99. All right, y'all, we just pulled up to a joint called Liquor Dreams. Let's go see what kind of dreams they're having in this place. Good morning, how are you? Good, happy Saturday. You got any Kentucky bourbon in here? I see a little bit. They got a James E. Pepper decanter, I see. That's a good one. And they got Old Forester 1870. That's a nice little fancy store in here, y'all. They got some Basil Hayden's red wine cask finish, $85. They got a couple of Elijah Craig small batch up here for $46. And got the straight rye for $53. You got some regular Woodford Reserve here for $35. That's a good price. Got some Four Roses small batch. Got a James E. Pepper decanter here. Now this was Fred Minnick's, I believe, number 23 out of 100, his top 100 for 2023. If my memory serves me correct, I think the MSRP was somewhere around 60, 65 bucks on this one. Solid bottle here. 82, I believe that's about 20 more than MSRP if I'm thinking right. There's like nothing, no special bottles anywhere. It's all on the shelf. Perfect. In your store here is the concept, like where you can buy like a bottle and a cigar and sit and sip it, or just the idea of the store. That's cool. That's a good idea. That's a good concept. Well, thank you a lot. You have a good Saturday, okay? Well, we went in Liquor Dreams, and they might have been dreaming about having a big selection of bourbon at some point, but they fell a little short on that one. Nice store, nice concept. You want to go in and sit, buy you a bottle, get you a cigar and sip it, that's the place to do it. All right, y'all, we're continuing our bourbon hunt here on Sippin' the South, and we are now at a place here in South Florida called Gulf Liquors. Right off the bat, y'all, we got some Widow Jane here. We got the Widow Jane 10 at 69, the Widow Jane Lucky 13 at 149, and this is supposed to be a really good bottle here, this Widow Jane Decadence. That's at 199 smackers. Got the Widow Jane, the Vaults, 349, 14-year Widow Jane, y'all. I got this Rowan's Creek here. That's another one of Fred Minnick's basic go-to every day on the shelf bottles. Got it at $52.99. I think that's about 20 bucks more, if not 25 bucks more than the regular price for that. That seems like their prices are a little high in here, y'all. We got here, let's see. Oh hell, we got a Michter's 10-year. Now this is a rare bottle, it's supposed to be an excellent bottle. Holy guacamole, Batman. Got this thing stickered at $3.99 onions. I think the MSRP on this dude somewhere around 180 to 190 bucks. You stay right there. That's a little too much for this old country boy's pocket. Let's see what we got here. This is a Larceny barrel proof. This is a batch. Yeah, this is a C924. $66.99. Based on some of these prices in here, I think we might be pissing in the wind in this store. They got a nice selection, but I think we're fixing to roll on to the next one. We're rolling on out of Gulf Liquors, y'all. That really wasn't our jam in there, and they had some pretty high prices. We're gonna keep rolling on. We're having a hell of a time here in South Miami. We're gonna keep hunting, and we're gonna find some good sipping. Next up, y'all, short hop down the road, Crown Wine and Spirits. Let's go make sure they don't want a Crown King's ransom for these bourbons. Hey, how are you? Good, happy Saturday. We're looking for some Kentucky bourbon whiskey. You got any?
Yes, sir.
You got good stuff?
Good stuff, like?
Yeah, like Larceny, A123, Russell's 15.
Sir, I can only offer you the regular stuff.
Ah, I see. All that stuff sitting in a box in the back somewhere, huh? Do y'all do like a preferred customer list, or like a drawing, or like a rewards list or something, like a membership club?
Yeah, no. I can get your phone number, and if you get a bottle, I'll call you.
Yeah.
But those bottles comes in like every 3-4 months.
Yeah.
You get 3 or 4.
Yeah, and you just put them out on the shelf when you get them, or no?
No.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
The only thing I know it's nothing like special, but we have just one bottle of Buffalo. That's the only thing I can offer you.
One bottle of regular Buffalo Trace. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that offer.
It's rare.
Yeah.
A Buffalo Trace here.
Yeah. Well, you don't have any other Buffalo Trace products, like E.H. Taylor or any Eagle Rare or any of that?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sorry for that.
No problem. Hey, man, we're just going to look and see what you got.
Sure. Perfect.
Up here, we got some Garrison Brothers up here, y'all. Now, this Garrison Brothers is Texas whiskey. A lot of people don't like it, but I've seen a couple of really good reviews on 2 bottles of Garrison Brothers that are rare, and they are expensive, but I would like to find them for a special treat and give them a sip. One is the Garrison Brothers Laguna Madre, supposed to be really good, and then I think that bottle is really high priced. And then they got another one called Garrison Brothers Cowboy Bourbon, another limited release that they do once a year. I'd really like to find one of those. So we're gonna hunt and hunt on Sippin' the South and see if we can't find Garrison Brothers Laguna Madre or Garrison Brothers Cowboy Bourbon, y'all. Got some Angel's Envy up here at a good price. If I'm not mistaken, we saw this earlier today for $69.99. They got it for $49.99 here. Big dong bottle of Woodford Reserve for $68.99. We got our old Forester here, 1920 Prohibition style. We picked this up earlier today for $59.99, y'all. $62.99 here. Got Uncle Nearest 1884, still on the hunt for that Uncle Nearest 777 lost chapter, y'all. We're gonna find it. Here's a Smooth Ambler, big level wheated bourbon, 100 proof, straight bourbon whiskey. I don't know anything about this, never had it before. And y'all, this here Smooth Ambler big level wheated bourbon is distilled and bottled in West Virginia by Smooth Ambler. Now, it seems pretty interesting to me, but I've never had this. So we got lots of bourbon that we would like to get on our list. I think I'm gonna hold off, but y'all comment down below and let me know about this Smooth Ambler wheated bourbon. If this is good juice, let me know. Y'all, we have rolled down here to Sunset Liquors, sprinkling outside, but the sun hadn't set yet. Let's go see what they got in Sunset Liquors. Hello, how are you? Well, y'all, we had a very interesting experience in Sunset Liquors. We were in there, and apparently the owner watches on remote cameras, and he called into the store and talked to us on the speakerphone and wanted to know what we was doing filming. I told him we've had a little YouTube channel called Sippin the South, and after we had a good conversation, talked about some of his prices, he said he really didn't want the videos out. So we're not going to show you the video of the stuff sitting in the shelf in there, but I can understand why he might not want the prices posted, because his prices were higher than giraffe coochie, y'all. That is some tough pricing in there, and I get it. It's free market, and it's what everybody's willing to pay. But we're going to move on and hunt for another day. Yes, this is a strip club.
I brought you to a strip club.
You might not want us filming in here. Yeah, this might be a bad idea. All right, y'all, we're about to walk in a brand new Total Wine and Spirits, like a super wine and spirits store. Let's go check it out, see what they got. There's a Smooth Ambler again, some Virginia whiskey. This is the Cask Strength series, Founder's Cask Strength. Don't know anything about that. Y'all let me know if that's good. Old Scout, $70.99. Some of the Old Forester products. There's a 1910 for $55.99 and a 1920 for $55.99. Now that's a good price because we picked up a bottle of that earlier, y'all, and paid $59.99, so $4 more. This is old time. What? Hold on. What is this? That's down here on the bottom. Old Forester single barrel, 100 proof. Not even up here on the shelf with the Old Forester stuff. Total Wine and More. This is a store pick, Old Forester, 100 proof. Warehouse L, floor 3. Now that's a score, y'all. 50, what is we got here? $54.99. We're gonna have to have that. This looks like this is the very last one. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Looky there. We got some Peerless here. Bourbon, but it's not the double oaked. I've heard really good stuff about Peerless. I'd really like to have a Peerless double oaked. Rowan's Creek, Fred Minnick Staple, $52.99. A little cheaper than what we saw it earlier. Never tried it. Might try that at the right price. Lazy River, never seen that, never heard of it. Wyoming Whiskey, double cask. They got your Knob Creeks here. There's a Knob Creek single barrel, but they don't have the Knob Creek 12. Hope I'm not screwing up by leaving this one on the shelf. Got a Murray Hill Club. I'm interested to try that new Murray Hill Club special release, but this is a regular Murray Hill Club, so I believe we're gonna pass on that one. That was $129 on that. Then they got a Joseph Magnus here, but not a cigar blend. That's $99 for regular Joseph Magnus. Got a Doc Swinson's here. Don't know anything about that. Heard somebody talk about that one before. Y'all let me know if that's good or bad in the comments. Got a Green River Full Proof up here for $54.99. I don't think that's a super great price. Maybe a few bucks more than MSRP. Brothers Bond Calf Strength. Don't know about this one. Straight bourbon whiskey, original Cask Strength, uncut, unfiltered. All right, y'all, well, looks like this one is bottled and distributed by Brothers Bond and distilled in Indiana. So that's gonna be MGP. Not that MGP's bad, but we kind of like to try the stuff that's distilled and bottled at the same place. Here's a Juke Joint Blue Note back there for $34.99. All right, y'all, it has been one awesome day. Dark now here in South Miami. We are at our last stop for this amazing bourbon hunt in South Miami. We are at Vintage Liquors. It's supposed to be a highly rated store. Let's go in here and see what they got. $17.92 small batch on special for $25. I expect that's a good price. Knob Creek 18 here for 250 smackers. Knob Creek Rye 10 year. That's supposed to be a good bottle, $79.99, but I'm just not a rye guy, so we're gonna leave that one sitting right there, but I believe that's a good bottle. Maker's Mark private release, but that heart release is supposed to be the really good one, and I don't see that. $69.99 for the private release. The cast strength Maker's Mark for $49.99. Russell's Reserve, they got a Russell's 13 in there for $2.99. Then they got a Russell's 15 in there for $4.99, which is $100 cheaper than we saw it at those other stores today for $600. Woodford Double Oaked for $59.98. That's a good price for that Woodford Double Oaked. See what we got here. We got a Larceny Barrel Proof. That's a C924 for $100. You got the regular wooden veil, but it's not the apple wood staves. $59.99 for the Old Forester. We got a Baby Jane up here for $49.99. We got a Milam and Green single barrel Kentucky bourbon here on sale. What do you think about Milam and Green? That's a Texas bourbon that says it's distilled in Tennessee. I don't know if that's George Dickel or Jack Daniels. I don't know where they're sourcing that from, but sourced in Tennessee and bottled down there in Texas. Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond up here for $79.99, and we got that for $39.99 earlier, y'all. I should have bought 2 of those. Got quite a selection in there that you can do a little sampling on. Heaven Hill Grain to Glass. Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. $149.99. Believe that one to be a good one. Barrel Bourbon. Aged 5 years. I don't see that's 35 or 6 is the one we're looking for on that. Smoke Wagon Small Batch, just not the uncut, unfiltered. There's a Midwinter Nights Dram up there for $2.49. I've heard mixed stuff on that. Some people say it's good, other people say it's not so good. I see a Jack 10 and a Jack 12 up there. $2.98 and $3.99 if my eyes are seeing me correct. Russell's Reserve up there, $4.99. Y'all, they got some good stuff in here, but they got some of them. They got them prices that are higher than giraffe coochie in here. And if y'all don't know that, that's pretty high stuff. Way up there at the top, they got a Willet Purple Top sitting up there for $299. Got Widow Jane 10 year for $74.99. That's not bad. They do have a 1792 full proof down here for $52.98. Now that there's not a bad price. I think the MSRP was around 50 bucks, so that's one of the better prices here in the store, y'all. We might have to have this one. Y'all, they got a lot of good stuff here in vintage liquors. One of the best bang for the buck prices that I see they got going here is right around the MSRP. I think the original MSRP is right around 50 bucks, and they got this for $52.98. Haven't tried this 1792 full proof. It's on the Bourbon Hunt list for Sippin the South, y'all. We're gonna call that a score here in this store. We didn't get a ton, we got a couple bottles. We got that full proof, $17.92 for a decent price. We got my Babe Amber, some Bacardi Banana Rum, and we got a bag of ice to take back to our Airbnb. Lordy B, we about to call it a day. All right, y'all, we've had a fantastic day of bourbon hunting here in South Miami. We covered a lot of ground and hit a lot of stores. We ended up with 4 bottles. We got the Old Forester 1920 Prohibition style. We got the Old Forester single barrel Total Wine Store pick. We got the Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond. And last but not least, we got that 1792 full proof. And y'all, in addition to all that, it has been an adventurous day. We went all over South Miami. We even ended up at a liquor store that was at a strip club of all places. We pulled in the parking lot at what we thought was the liquor store, and it was a liquor store, but right beside it, attached in the same building, was Bare Necessities Strip Club. And y'all, let me tell you, this is Sippin the South, not stripping the South. We had to roll right on out of there. All in all, a great day. Thanks for coming along with us, and we'll see y'all next time on Sippin the South.